Hello everybody, and welcome to a Kaladesh Remastered draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section down below with any questions or feedback. You can catch me streaming live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas, and if you would like to get notified when I post future videos, be sure to click that bell. But yeah, we're going to be drafting Kaladesh Remastered. I'm excited to dive into the set again. And we've opened up a Planeswalker. Now, Saheeli is not the greatest Planeswalker, but she's really cool. And she's one of my favorite Planeswalkers just from a flavor perspective. She's an inventor, and I just think that's pretty neat. And I don't know. I think we are going to just take the Saheeli ride because after I've drafted the set to win, I like to try and explore the set. And my last draft was just me doing my best to win, and this is going to be a exploration draft, potentially. And maybe we won't get to play red-blue, but maybe we will. And Saheeli Rai is a really cool Planeswalker. She's got some cool stuff. Generally, the best things you can copy are things like Prophetic Prism. You copy that artifact to draw a card. Some artifacts will deal the damage or things like that. So you want things like that have an enter the battlefield effect, like Propeller Pioneer, though in blue and red. If I wasn't taking Saheeli, I don't actually think Saheeli's the best card. I think Attune with Aether is quite good. Aether Meltdown's quite good, and Gearseeker Serpent is pretty good, so I think I would probably start off with a Aether Meltdown out of this pack, or maybe a Filigree Familiar just because it's colorless. But we're going to start with Saheeli Rai, because when you open the Planeswalker, you take the Planeswalker and see what you can do with it. Okie doke. What else is there? Okay, so now that we have Saheeli, red-blue is generally going to be a pretty cool like artifacts deck. You can go with improvised creatures like Enraged Giant. But I don't know if we're going to end up being able to play red-blue. So I might just take a Pacification Array, which is just a cheap artifact that can go well in a Saheeli deck, because it's a artifact that can work with your improvised creatures, but it's also just a card that can go into any deck. Vengeful Rebel is a little bit worse than it looks, just because it's harder to enable Revolt sometimes than you might think. Also, it's not in Saheeli's colors. Renegade Map is a card that does go well with Vengeful Rebel. And then there's Enraged Giant, which generally is not that big of a payoff because a 4/4 is not even that big for this format. So I think we're just going to take the Pacification Array. See where it leads us. Oh, baby! What a pickup! This card is so good! My goodness. This card is incredible. I can't believe it's still in the pack. It just turns any of your artifacts, if you have random artifacts, into just shock on a stick, which is incredible. So, like, you have a Pacification Array in play, you play the Quicksmith Rebel, all of a sudden, you start zapping things. Quicksmith Genius would also be good for this sort of deck. It goes well with this artifact stuff that I might have going on. But this is an incredible pickup. I'm surprised it wasn't picked either pick 1 or pick 2. It looks like there's 2 commons missing, so I wonder what you can glean from that. There's no green cards in the pack, so maybe they took some green stuff. But we're okay if they took green cards, because we are trying to play red-blue. And it looks like there's 2 great red cards in the pack, some good artifacts, and some blue cards. So I'm pretty happy with how this is starting off. And, ooh, Fabrication Module is a nice one. Ooh, this pack is stacked. So Fabrication Module is really good, because whenever you get an energy, you get like to ping things. It's also an artifact for my Rebel. Glint Crane could be good, but we're not going to take it this early. And then there's also Aether Chaser and Aether Swooper, which are both excellent in this type of artifacts deck. I think I'm going to take the Fabrication Module because it does give me like some inevitability. It works well with the Quicksmith Rebel as an artifact that I can put stuff up on. I also like the Aether Chaser and Swooper. Those are both great cards. It looks like red-blue is very open in our seat. We haven't seen any green cards, any white cards, or black cards really worth taking, but we're just flooded with red-blue cards. I like the Chaser and the Swooper. I'm not actually sure which is better. I think Chaser is just because First Strike is a pretty good defensive ability. But I think we're going to start with the Fabrication Module because if you can pick up ways to just win the late game, then you're going to be pretty happy. And Fabrication Module is a way to do that. And now Welding Sparks. I almost took the Aether Swooper, but then I was like, wow, Welding Sparks is still in the pack. Perfect Artifact Matters card. The only thing I'm worried about is that the person that we're passing to is also seeing a ton of good red-blue cards because we've just been taking like really good artifacts, and so we're passing good red-blue cards even though we want to end up in red-blue. So that's a little bit of a problem, but we're not going to worry about it too much because our pack 3 should also be great. Unfortunately, we're not getting the Aether Swoopers and Aether Chasers at the moment, but we are getting Welding Sparks. We're getting the good pieces that we need, and then we'll hopefully get those Gearseeker Serpents and the Swooper Cycle stuff in a little bit. Okie doke. Decoction Module can do some good stuff. It can lead to actually some infinite combo potential. If you have 2 Decoction Modules in play and you have like a Saheeli Rai to copy it to make a 3rd one, and then you have like a Whirler Virtuoso, I think Decoction Module is going to lead to the sweetest things. It leads to some pretty cool Saheeli Rai combos, especially good with Fabrication Module. So that's a nice little synergy as well. I wouldn't mind a Fire Forge or Puddle Knot, because it is also another combo with Saheeli. Sky Skiff can do good work. But I'm just going to take the module. And now... we're not really in the market for just a Crusher. We're not just trying to hit them. We're trying to do some cool artifact stuff. Thriving Turtle's a nice defensive tool. Sky Skiff can be good as well. We don't really have any creatures at the moment. Thriving Turtle can be pretty good in a defensive deck. We could also just take Sky Skiff. I think we want one Sky Skiff in this deck, probably. But Thriving Turtle's also pretty nice. I'm going to take the Sky Skiff. Or maybe I just want the Turtle. I'm going to take the Sky Skiff. I kind of want a Sky Skiff. And just, oh my gosh, what? I was about to say just like the Doctor ordered a Gear Seeker Serpent, but Welding Sparks is just so good in this deck. Like, we have all artifacts. There's also an Enraged Giant. Gear Seeker Serpent's going to be really good, though, if we can get some, but I'm just going to keep taking Welding Sparks while I see them. I think there was a Gear Seeker in the last pack, too. Wow, Sasha. Taking down my equipment. That was some pure rage right there. We're going to take the Trophy Mage because it can fetch up a Fabrication module, and that's just a pretty good effect. Well, maybe we'll pick up another 3-mana artifact. Let's make sure that my camera's back to focused. My cat just like went on a rampage and just knocked it over. But yeah, Trophy Mage is pretty good. And now we get Renegade Map. If we want some more improvised stuff, there's a Enraged Giant. There's also Renegade Map. Ether Trade Winds is not as synergistic in our deck yet, but it could be good. I wouldn't mind a Map or an Enraged Giant, honestly. I think I'm just going to take the Map, because the Map has some nice upside. Just another artifact to fuel out Gear Seeker Serpents if I get some of those. Spireside, Infiltrator is a fine creature. I wouldn't mind an Ambition. I think I'm just going to take... I'm lacking creatures. I'm going to take the Infiltrator, I think. Yeah, it's a fine creature. And now we get Ether Chaser this late. Wow. I think we're just taking mostly enablers here. Enraged Giant is not a card that impresses me, just because, like, even if you cast this for like 5 mana, it's just not that scary. There's just a lot of big creatures in the format. And now we get a Self-Assembler over the Gremlin. And last pick red card. So this is looking very good for us. Okay, so where are we at here? Dragster is not really a card I'm super pumped about. Key to the City can be good, though. It's just... basically like looting every turn. It's a little bit clunky and expensive though, so maybe I'd rather have something like an Inventor's Apprentice as a 2-mana 2/3. I mean a 1-mana 2/3. Chandra's Revolution for some removal. What did I take the Map over? I took it over like the Giant or something. But I think Revolution would be good. I would really like some Gear Seeker Serpents and stuff. I think Key to the City is a little bit clunky for my deck because I'm not really an aggressive deck. This is much better when your deck is more reliant on like beating down, and my deck's more of a control deck. So I'm just gonna take a removal spell. And now, ooh, I'm gonna take a Fabrication module. Whenever I get an energy, I'm gonna be able to put 2 +1/+1 counters on creatures, and I can just pay 4. And now I have 2 targets for my Trophy Mage. I do really want a Gear Seeker Serpent, and I really do want an Ether Chaser, but I'm just going to keep taking these premium artifacts, and then I'm going to hope to get those later. But I know that's a risky strategy. Okay, now we take Ether Chaser over basically everything, because when we play Ether Chaser with a Fabrication module in play, it's a 3/2 first strike. I wouldn't mind Weldfast Monitor as an artifact creature, but Ether Chasers are fantastic. Key is oh, you're right. It does get better the more improvised you have. It's also a great combo with Quicksmith Rebel. I didn't think about the Quicksmith Rebel combo. I don't have any improvised at the moment, though. I'm just hoping to get improvised stuff. But I've also passed a lot of improvised stuff. Reckless Fireweaver can be okay. I think Peafowl isn't great either. I'm just going to take the Fireweaver. It's a fine 2-drop in my deck. Hover the Gear Seeker and then end up taking the Gear Seeker because it's perfect for my deck. Look how many artifacts I have. This is a great finisher for me. I wouldn't mind a Fire Forgers, like 1 copy of that. And now another Gear Seeker Serpent. Our deck is looking really sweet. We have a couple of like nice like late game tools with the fabrication modules. We've got some early game stuff. As many ether swoopers and ether chasers I can get, I'll be taking. But Gear Seeker's going to be great. Okie doke. It's actually interesting because Ether Hub with Fabrication Module is actually a really good synergy. So I think it's worth taking just for that. Because that just makes one of my lands put a counter on something, which is just really good. Also gives me some flexibility. I don't actually spend energy on that many things, so I think this is going to be fine. I wouldn't mind a Weldfast Monitor, though, or Leave in the Dust, but I'm just going to take the land. Also, if I open something really crazy, I could maybe splash it, because I do have this map. Implement. So it's like a mana rock that can then... maybe I just would rather have trade winds. Having a copy of that could be really good. I think I'm going to want one copy. So let's just take the trade winds. I don't really love the implement. It's too expensive and clunky. Please give me 2 Gear Hulks. I think this deck is really good. I have made some... like... Ooh, this is going to be good in my deck. 1 mana, 2/3 most of the time. I don't think Dragster is really what I'm in the market for. I think the this deck is going to be pretty good. I did make some picks that were greedy, so we'll have to see if they pay off. Like my Fabrication Module pick has been, like, they've been pretty greedy ones. Oh my gosh. I already have 2 Gear Seekers, and just Ether Chaser's so good with the Fabrication Module, and also with all of my artifact synergies, that I just have to take the Ether Chaser here. It's really good in my deck, I'd say. Eager Construct, probably pretty solid. Van Hauler, not really what I'm looking for. Tampering. The thing is with Ether Chaser is I would probably only play 1 more Gear Seeker Serpent, but I'll play as many of the Ether Chasers as I get. Maybe I'd want this in some matchups. Solvent actually could be okay if I really need removal for something big as a sideboard card. Wow, nice. Wow, what a pack. My goodness, there's a Maverick Thopterist, which is so good in my deck. Is Maverick Thopterist better than Pia Nalar in my deck? The ability to just pump the creatures is so huge. But this thing plus Saheeli is really good. It's definitely between those 2 cards. Saheeli's really good just because pumping like 3 or 4 times is just good. It's a 3-drop. Thopterist might be better. I'm going to default to the rare, I think, though. Just because it's cheaper and it's a similar effect. The extra Thopter is really good. Ooh. Renegade Freighter. I mean, Untethered Express. This is like Renegade Freighter's big brother. But Tethered Express is great. We also might be the only blue drafter, so the Thopterist might wheel. There's a small chance it wheels. But the Express is just fantastic. And now there's a Swooper. It's like another Ether Chaser equivalent. Also another Ether Hub, but this card's just great for me. Wowza. What a pickup. Blue's really open. So I can just steal a 4-drop with this. This is really good. There's another Gear Seeker Serpent. Man, my cat just loves bumping my camera, doesn't she? She likes to sit behind my computer when I'm drafting. Okay, we're just going to take the Confiscation Coup. And now, every time artifact enters the battlefield, I'm going to pay 1 if I do get 2 energy. I don't think I'm going to need the self-assemblers. I'm probably just going to take Chandra Revolution. Maybe this is good. So I can get 2 energy a lot of the time and then sacrifice it to draw 3. That means I can keep attacking with my swoopers and get more artifacts and stuff like that. I already have 1 Chandra's Revolution. I think I'm just going to take the Era of Invention. It has some cool potential. Some nice combo potential. And then I think I'm going to take the Appetite for the Unnatural because there's some chance that I would want to side it in. like if I really needed to kill a key artifact. Okay, Sasha, you're gonna have to stop bumping my webcam. It's irritating. And now I take another Inventor's Apprentice over Leave in the Dust. I think Inventor's Apprentice could be good. Tezzer's Ambition can be good for the sideboard if I need some card draw. Ooh, there's a Fire Forger's Puzzle Knot. Do I want this? Probably not. Ether Theorist is just real good. Fuels my energy stuff. The more energy stuff I get, the better, I think. Okay, that might put my camera out of the danger zone from my cat. That looks good. Yep. Okay, we'll just take a Pyrohelix, either sideboard it or main deck it. We'll have to see if when I draw Pianalar, if it's worse than the Maverick Thopterist would have been. It's probably not, just because you get one extra 1/1 for 2 more mana. Wow, another Gear Seeker. That's beautiful. And that's a lot. But you do get to cast it for cheaper sometimes. And also, but I think the ability to pump is really what pushed me over the edge. Was like, it feels like that pump ability is really good. Wow, last pick red card again. Okay, so with 2 equipments, the Infiltrator comes a little bit better. Okay, so what are we not going to want? We're not going to need Universal Solvent. We're not going to need Renegade Map. Oh my gosh, my cat is just ballistic behind my computer. Okay, so we got good removal spells here. I don't think we need Ether Trade Winds. We have a Spireside Infiltrator. We're not going to guaranteed run that. We're not going to want Reckless Fireweaver. I think Module's good because of our fabrications and also because we have some Enters the Battlefield effects. This is basically a pre-con deck. Basically a constructed deck. Okay. I don't think we want the Inventors as Apprentices even. Because they're just generic creatures and we're not really beating down like that. We just want more things that make artifacts, not things that are good with artifacts. Maybe we could use Renegade, like cut Renegade Map. I mean, add Renegade Map instead of a land. That could be okay. I don't know if we want Eager Construct. So we have Swooper, Theorist, Era of Invention. Do we have Artificers? Artificer, Artificer. So we have 4 Artificers, 5 Artificers, 6 Artificers. Era of Invention is probably pretty good in our deck because we use energy pretty effectively thanks to our fabrication modules. And like spending it on... What do we spend energy on? Just making 1/1s? Is Decoction Module worth playing is the question. So it's another artifact. It gives us energy to work with our fabrication modules. So this is 40 cards right now. How many creatures do we have here? 11 creatures. I like the 3 Gear Seekers. Not cutting, not cutting. So I think we just chip every card that we might consider cutting. So we could, I guess, consider cutting Sky Skiff. We could consider cutting this. We could consider cutting that. And then these are the core cards of our deck. Cerama's a white card, though. Okay, so what do we want? We have 3 slots. We could add Renegade Map instead of one of our basic lands. I think we're slightly heavier red in the early game, so we would cut an island for it. And it would be good to do that for the reason that playing an artifact could matter. It could fix our mana slightly, but mostly because it could help be like ramp for our Gear Seeker Serpent in our hands that already had a lot of lands. That would be the main justification for it. It's also something that we could technically use with a Quicksmith Rebel or something of that nature. So that's a consideration as well. It's also just oftentimes going to be like an Evolving Wilds that comes into play tapped. Sasha, what are you doing? Ugh. So I think we want to cut an island for a Renegade Map. That might be a little bit fancy, but it's also just really nice to cast Gear Seeker Serpents a little bit cheaper. And then we have 3 more slots. I think we want cheap artifacts. I think Era of Invention is a little bit too finicky for us, because we don't use the energy all that well once these things can't attack. And so like we'll just build up a bunch of energy. I guess we can sack it to draw 3 cards then. So maybe I want to try this card, because it could be really sweet. Which means we probably don't need the Tezzeret's Ambition, because we'll just be using that instead. I don't think we want the Inventor's Apprentices, because again, they're just creatures. They're just small things. They don't fuel our big Gear Seeker Serpents, which is our primary win condition. I think Skyskiff is generally pretty good. It's a cheap artifact, fuels my stuff. And then I need one more card. I have 5 2-drops plus a Skyskiff, so I don't need any more of those. Universal Solvent is interesting as a removal spell, but I already have some removal. I think this is more of a sideboard card for me because my deck is so good. Eager Construct I don't need. Decoction Module is interesting. But again, I don't think I need the energy, especially if I'm using Era of Invention as an energy generator. I just don't think I need it as much. So I think I have one more spot. I think Spireside Infiltrator could give me some nice ping equity with my the creatures that I have. I only have 12 creatures, so having another thing to crew my vehicles could be nice. Maybe I'd rather have a second Spireside Infiltrator over a Era of Invention, but we'll have to see. Overall, this is how I'm going to start off, and I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those who support me at the credit level: Eric S., Stephen W., Arpeggio, Green Rogue, and Cindy W. I really do appreciate your support and the support of all my patrons. If you want to learn more about how to support me and my content via Patreon, you can find that information at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. It's a great way to help me continue making videos, and also gives you access to some nice little perks along the way. Without further ado, though, let's get to the matches. We're going to play first, and we are going to mulligan. We are playing against someone who has a Saheeli Rai avatar, so that's hilarious. So we're going to keep this and get rid of an island, I think. I would love a 2-drop at this point, but you can't always get exactly what you need. If I drew an Ether Swooper, it'd be nice. That's a good draw because it can get me my second fabrication module. I'm just going to get that rolling. I can't block this, which is irritating. Maybe I was supposed to keep the land and bin the fabrication module. So they're not spending the energy, which is interesting. Oh, that's why. That's why they're not spending the energy. Okay, I'm not going to win this game. Imagine how bad Renegade map would be for me to draw right now. I think I should have ditched the fabrication module because I think I had the Trophy Mage in my hand, and I don't need both of them. Oh, so they missed the land drop too, so maybe I'm not out of it. I will double block this if they attack. I have a lot of setup pieces, so this is probably not a good Era of Invention deck. These are the things you learn when you actually play with the cards. You're like, okay, these are the things that I need to change. I'm going to do this, because I don't think I'm ever going to get this Ether Chaser off the battlefield if I don't double block it now. Wow, okay. Well, that was destructive. Yeah, I can probably just concede now. If I miss my land drop, I'll just scoop. Okay, I didn't miss my land drop. I should still just scoop. Okay. Some major deck building errors here. Slash, we mulliganed and missed our 4th land drop, which was bad. Okay, so we don't need we don't need the Renegade map, first of all. Oh, no, I didn't put an island in the sideboard. I guess we'll have to put it in for now. Inventor's Apprentice could be actually good against the 2-1. So I guess we're going to cut Era of Invention. I think the only clunky card we can afford is the Fabrication module. And maybe we cut Infiltrator. Let's try it like that. Maybe we were supposed to jam Saheeli on turn 3 just to start scrying. It is much better. Pretty good draw here. Also, I should maybe bring in my Chandra's Pyrohelix to zap their Ether Chaser. That might be a bit aggressive, but if they don't draw Whirler Virtuoso, it's going to work out for me. I guess my deck isn't as good as I thought it was. Though maybe we can compete. Oh no. The Consulate turret. It's here. Every 3 turns they get a Thopter. I really would like an island this turn. That'd be pretty nice for me. Or an Ether Hub. I will block like that. Sure. I got it out of their hand. Okay, that was good. Oh, are they really making a chump blocker? Wow, that's actually really good for me. Whew. And now I can just like hold up my fabrication module activation as like a combat trick +1/+1 counter. Okay. Well, that was a good draw. I guess I should have attacked with the 1/1. But it worked out for me. Fabrication module doing great. Great work. Okay, so Chandra's Pyrohelix probably not coming in. They do have ether chasers and some servos and stuff. But I don't think it's worth it overall. Boom! Looks like I repaired the deck. Yeah, I didn't get raffle stomped. Okay, Era of Invention's too slow. On the draw, they have a key threat that I have to kill, so I have to make sure I save my Welding Sparks for that one card. Ruinous Gremlin does destroy artifacts, and they do have the Consulate Turret, but I don't care about the Consulate Turret. I don't need card draw, I don't think. Confiscation Coup is going to be really good if I can swing it. Pyrohelix is interesting against their Ether Chasers, but I think Inventor's Apprentice is my tech against their Chasers. I don't think I want the modules. I think I'm just going to run it like this. Hopefully we can get the win here. Big round. And then I can get rid of this Renegade map. I think map is a mistake in this deck. Okay, unfortunately we have to mulligan this. Not enough lands. We will keep this though. This could be real good. 3-drop, 4-drop. And then I think I still get rid of the land. This is a tight matchup. This could be really good though. Come on, spell. Oh gosh. This could be awkward. They don't have red mana though. And they're playing a complete blank in Consulate Turret, so that's good for me. Huh? See you later. I certainly don't like the fact that we are getting completely owned by drawing all lands here. But I do like the fact that if they're stuck on their colors, and Quicksmith Rebel can carry us to victory. So they're going to get to scry a lot with their Ether Theorist. But we can kill that if we need to. But we've drawn all lands here, so we're going to have to stall for a hot second. Unfortunately, we have drawn literal no spells this game. But it looks like they haven't drawn red mana, so we are in okay shape here. Well then... I don't know if this is too greedy is the problem, but I really want to kill their Theorist so they can't just scry every turn. But I guess they don't have a good use for their mana, so I'm just gonna chill. And save this for something that they can actually spend their energy on, like a Whirler. And I can start taking down their servos. Well, they should not have done that then. Blue doesn't have any combat tricks in this set. I guess they figure it's gonna die anyway. Perfect. Okay. That's a good thing to zap. We'll kill that first. My goodness, what a draw. I actually am going to kill their thing now. Because this way their land doesn't untap. So now they have to draw another mountain if they want to do something. And now I can start activating this fabrication module to double buff my Ether Chaser every turn. So they drew another mountain. Problematic. Okay, that's a really good draw. And that might not have been great, but I'm going to be making energy with these. We just have a massive first strike creature. Booyah. Wow. Our deck really worked out this match. Oh no. No! They're killing my own creature. Instead of killing my Quicksmith Rebel. Huh. I feel like Quicksmith Rebel is more of a problem. But I guess I have a 5/4. So that's kind of a problem too. Could I have killed them? Put them to 9, to 7? No, I couldn't have. So they can, their Welding Sparks will currently do 4 damage, so I'm just going to buff this thing twice. Because that puts it out of range of both of the removal spells. Both Welding Sparks and the Chandra's one. Maybe I should have done that the turn before. Oh, 2 damage. How did I get this 3rd pick? No idea. Well, I'm certainly going to add Renegade Map. I don't need the artifact stuff, I don't think. I just need to make my deck sure, make sure it doesn't stumble like it did in Game 1. Booyah! Got the win. Whew, whew. Yep, I used that code. It was very good, Soren. Thanks for telling everyone in chat. It is appreciated. I'll see you folks in the next round. Welcome to round 2. We won the die roll. We did change the deck a little bit. We added an extra... we kept the Era of Innovation because I do want to try it out, especially with all the Artificers and the Fabrication modules. But I added in an Inventor's Apprentice for the Spiroside Infiltrator to just lower my curve. No more, no less. Kiddo. So in this matchup, Era of Innovation is going to come out. But Untethered Express could be really good here. I really need to draw a land here. Come on, land. Land, ho! Land. Perfect. This card just dominates the Motorist. I'm not going to take a turn off to play Era of Innovation because I'm going to try and beat them down by like drawing a land to play Untethered Express next turn. Oh yeah, that's going to be brutal for them. We'll have to see what they have here, but I have to assume this is going to work out pretty well for me. It is a massive sum of damage. I don't really remember... I remember this card being kind of cool in like some blue-green stuff. I do remember this card being a complete beating. Oh my gosh! The sound effect is so good! It actually sounds like a runaway train. Era has seemed kind of dirtily and slow, but... Please put counters on it. Oh, baby. You are so naive to think that I will let that live. So next turn I can go this, and get another 1/1, but for now... We'll make it so that their mountain doesn't untap. Actually, they're more likely to have... I think there's more double white cards than double red cards. Just send in the train. The pain train, as it is called. Ah. Dang, they needed another land to make sure they could play this. Otherwise, they were in trouble. We are going to do this stuff pre-combat. Because... this way we get another servo. Are they just dead on board? Because this thing is trample. Like, they can kill it if they triple block it. But they take 6 and they go to 1? Okay, I guess they're not technically dead. How are you going to get out of this one, buddy? Boom! With the concession button, apparently. Okay, Era of Innovation did not look like it was going to be good there. I think this is going to be good. Ooh, actually. Pyrohelix. Sign me up. They had the 3/1. They had the 2/1 flyer. Could be good. Now let's just run it like this. I feel like I want Era of Invention to be good, but it just like isn't great. It's just I have so many artificers. I have like 6 artificers and a bunch of artifacts. Why didn't we get a Torrential Gearhulk? I don't know. Actually, I did. I opened a Cataclysmic Gearhulk, but I just couldn't play it because it was a white card. Oh, another great hand here. Oh my gosh, double fabrication module. I'm not going to greed, though, obviously. That would be silly. Should go like, oh, I need to get max value, so I'm not going to play my Ether Swooper until after I played both of them. Kadoke. They get to scry, too. I will probably just block here. Not that I would mind having a 1/1, but... this is going to be... Just important to get off the board. Ah! I'm gonna do this. It gives me a lot of really good draws, because I have like 4 other artifact creatures that are really good to draw now. And they don't have that much pressure on the board. I knew this would work out. I'm gonna save this until after I have both fabrications in play. So I could just go for a massive Ether Chaser. Like, I just play this turn, and then next turn I go this, plus Ether Chaser, and make like a 6/4 first striker. I can do that anyway, though. I just want a blocker. And a 3/2 first strike does hold off their grounded forces. And if they have removal, they'll be able to kill it anyway with Welding Sparks. A sad day. This is okay for me, though. I can kill their Scrap Trawler and stop their red from untapping. This will give me time to catch back up. Wow, what a turn this is going to be. How did I mess that up? It's not that hard to play it in the right order. What am I doing? I was like, oh, this way I can have a blue up. I don't have anything to cast for blue. Oh, they're going to kill it with a Welding Sparks now. And I'm going to get max punished. They're like, man, why would he do that? That's out of order. He must have something. Jeez, max punished. Legitimate max punish here. I'm so bad. I'm actually the worst. That was like horrifically bad. What the heck was that, Nikolai? I literally had it all planned out. Like, that's why I was saving that and everything. I'm gonna lose because of that. Because I'm terrible. Holy heck. I literally put Ether Hub into my deck for that exact reason. Oh, please let me draw a removal spell for this. Thank you. I am happy to punish the greed there. Oh no. Well, that didn't work out. Okay, with the knowledge I had, I feel like that was an okay play. Wow. So this can gain +1/+0, so they can hit me for 5, so I'm dead in 2 turns. gosh, I think I win this game if I don't take a bunch of like if I don't have to kill that Bomat courier because I don't lose my guy. That was unfortunate. Oh no. What are they doing? Adamant NPG. I have no idea who that is. How close are they to dead? 13, 15, 17. I'm 3 damage off of killing them. I don't even have Ether Swoop resin out. Let's see what we can draw here. Okay, game 3. Oh. Okay. I also kind of... I think I used this maybe badly. I don't know. Overall, though, not good. I'm just going to run it back, though. Pretty disappointing to lose that game that way, because you don't get free wins. You lose those games and then you lose the match because sometimes you just lose certain games. So losing the ones that are winnable feels real bad. Okay, it looks like our deck isn't gonna fail us in this game at least. I'm not implying that my deck failed me in the last game, but like sometimes you lose a game like that and then your deck just like doesn't cooperate and you get wrecked. But it doesn't look like that's gonna happen here because we have a great hand. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. I literally planned the Ether Hub thing the entire match. It was like, oh, this is why I'm putting Ether Hub into my deck. And then I still botched it. Okay, next turn. If I'm not going to kill their creature, I will play Ether Theorist and the Hub. Okey-doke. Well, this is going to be good. I think I'm going to play the Ether Theorist. So that I can keep making artifact tokens. Oh yeah, Pia is definitely great here. Because she can pump up my artifacts. I do not want to lose my Pia though. It might have been a fine trade with a scrap trawler, though. I just like the fact that I could then spend mana on it. I want to keep one energy back. I'm trying to make my mind think. Okay, I want to keep an energy back so that I can play this Gear Seeker Serpent, which means I'm not going to make a token. And now I'm fine trading Pia off. And the next turn I play another Gear Seeker Serpent. Whew! Wow, I got bailed out. Sorry for any negativity I had. It feels bad to punt on stream, especially when I like thought it out so far in advance. Like during the draft and during the game, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then I just botched it on the execution. He fails the execution. Oh gosh. Well, I'll see you folks in the final round. Welcome to the final round. We have a good hand here. 2-drop, 3-drop, Quicksmith Rebel onto the Thopter, or Welding Spark something. Ah, the turtle is here! I ended up finally cutting the Era of Invention, because I just think it's too clunky in my deck, when I already have 2 fabrication modules that are already clunky. Oh, what a draw. The poise, the precision. Face my Ether Chaser, Bruiser. Bruiser scum. No! Well. So in this situation, I want to play a red spell every time I can because I'm short on red mana. So I could have gone Ether Theorist plus Apprentice, but I'm going to save the Theorist because I can probably slot it in. Okey-doke. So we're going to go for the highest upside play here. Zap that guy. No attacks. Okey-doke. So at least they had to do it on my 1/1. So I can actually sack that at some point to do some good things. So I'm just going to trade there. I don't mind trading a 3/2 for a 3/1 because I'm the one that's got the like confiscation coup, and I can kill this with a welding sparks and then start hitting him. Taking it down to 1/4 is actually pretty good for me here. I have 7 energy, so I can probably afford to start scrying. Yeah, I'll scry, and I'll put a stop on my upkeep to scry again. Certainly don't want that. That is a good one. We will keep that one. Hello, fabrication module. I might have to take this Screecher. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Screecher. And they concede. Okay. So what do we know about their deck? We know that they have multiple 3/1s, so 100% bring this guy in. Probably just for an Inventor's Apprentice. That's just like the type of thing that's good to know about. And then... They got a big artifact there, but I don't think I want this guy, because it's not like a key artifact that I can't deal with. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with that one change. Substitute out my least integral card for a Pyro Helix that is going to get me a 2-for-1 a lot of the time, because they have 3 X1s that I know about so far. So it'll at least kill maybe a Servo and an X1 or something like that. And I don't mind taking out the Apprentice because it's like a 1 mana 2/3, which is good if I'm like trying to beat them down, but they have Thriving Turtles to stop that, so I don't mind taking one out. I could also maybe bring an Era of Invention for this matchup. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Rafiki. Look at this hand. This deck is great. I don't know why I doubted my deck for a second. All I can doubt is the execution on the deck. I wonder why we're in Amonkhet. Ooh, Saheeli. Saheeli, na na na. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play the Saheeli. Do they have a counterspell? No, they just have this. Because then if they want to start attacking us, our Saheeli, we get to get them. Okay, we're going to keep that on top. It's pretty good.
I like to think fast.
Pretty good. Because then if they want to attack the Saheeli, we get to attack them. We will see what information we can gather. A land is probably good. Do we want to scry to the top, though? Probably not.
Genius is as genius does.
Let's see what they have here. Nope, nothing. Perfect. Our Saheeli's just going to take over this game. This is perfect. I really wanted to get to play the Saheeli at least once, and it looks like we're going to get to in our final game with the deck. Just cruising up towards 7. Boom! Saheeli takes it! Boom! Let's go! Saheeli was too good. Too powerful! Wow, what a series of games. We had highs, we had lows, we had punts that got punished to the max. We had Saheeli winning games. We had Gearseeker Serpents costing 4 mana. But yeah, overall a very fun deck, very powerful, and super cool. I'm really glad that we built around Saheeli, even though she was not necessarily a key part in our wins. One thing that I will point out from that draft is something that we did was we took a lot of the payoffs before we, or a lot of the enablers for artifact stuff before we took payoffs. So you'll notice that we, like, every time we had a choice between something like an Ether Chaser and a Gearseeker Serpent, we would pretty much always take the Ether Chaser and then rely on getting these later when people were like, oh, dang, I can't just play all my Gearseekers. I have to have some enablers. So we were able to get these a little bit later, and then we had like 3 Ether Chasers and an Ether Swooper. Also, Fabrication Module, just doing crazy things. It just wins you the late game. This card may look clunky, and it definitely was in some of our games, but it did a ton of good stuff. Welding Sparks was excellent. All the energy stuff was good. Quicksmith Rebel won us games single-handedly. Ether Hub, good combo with Fabrication Module if you use it correctly. I think the PNLR versus Maverick Thopterus pick ended up working out. I think PNLR is actually really good because it can pump up your servos so they can trade with things. So I think that pick was actually correct now that we've played with the card a little bit. Sky's Gift didn't really do a ton because we didn't draw it, but Untethered Express like won us that game, so really good card. Chandra's Revolution doing good stuff. Overall, pretty happy with the deck. I think Era of Innovation was a bit clunky. Decoction Module would have been too clunky. You don't want to clunk up your deck too much. So yeah, the Renegade map plan was a little bit ambitious at the beginning, but I think over the course of the draft we honed it. I think Pyrohelix is probably best as a sideboard card, but it can do good things in the main deck as well. So we could have main decked one over the Inventor's Apprentice and been okay with it, but I think it was fine in the sideboard. But yeah, definitely a fun deck, and I really enjoyed playing it. If you did enjoy watching, make sure you remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your questions and feedback, and leave a hashtag. We need to think of a good hashtag. Hashtag chasing wins if you made it all the way to the end of the video, because the chaser was a key part of our victories. Or hashtag Saheeli victory, because Saheeli was a key part of one of our victories. I don't know, just leave a creative, or just leave one of your own creative hashtags that lets me know you made it all the way to the end of the video, because it was a ton of fun. Or hashtag artifact style, because we had a lot of cool artifact stuff. I don't know, whatever hashtag you want to leave in the comments, let me know you made it all the way to the end. I always do enjoy seeing which folks made it all the way to the end of the video and enjoyed it enough to leave a comment. You can check out the Twitch stream live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas if you would like to catch me streaming live. You can find the NicolaiBolas Discord server and my articles and my Patreon all linked in the description and pinned comment as well, if you would like to check out all of those things. And yeah, that's going to do it for this draft video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.